The neck is going to be involved in everything, and there's a really special reason why, because that's where your brain sits. And your brain doesn't like pain. Your brain doesn't like threat. Your brain actually doesn't like to do any work at all. If your brain could tell you, dude, I don't want to do shit all day long. I just want to if I have to get from point A to point B, I want to find the easiest way to get there so I don't have to work at all, right? That's really important for you to know. So when we look at the neck, we're going to show you how to assess it from an isometric standpoint, where we're going to put the neck in flexion and rotation and side bending and see how long a person can hold it there. 1, if they can even hold it there in the first place. 2, if they have pain when they do it. Or 3, what you'll begin to see is what's called the ratchet effect, where they'll hold the head up and it'll go like this. It'll start to shake, right? If the head starts to shake, that means the muscles that are supporting it are weak. Or what they call in the neurological world, that means they work, but they're inhibited. It means they show up to play, but they're just a tad late. And when something is a tad late or weak, your brain says to itself, dude, when I'm under threat and I'm trying to kick some ass and win a competition, if I can't depend on this muscle, forget him. I'm going to leave him over here and I'm going to go to somebody else that I can rely on. And that's the one, that's your go-to. That's your strong dude. And that's the one that usually hurts, because that's the guy who said, dude, I'm tired of doing all the damn work. That's the classic where you think it is, it ain't. So my big lesson for you here, if somebody has pain in the neck, if the back of the neck hurts, check the front of the neck. If the front of the neck hurts, check the back of the neck. If the right side hurts, check the left side. If the left side hurts, check the right side. Because most people will not, right? So there's a picture up there that represents nerves. It's one of my favorite pictures. And these are nerves that are going to come out of small little holes that are in your skin, and they're called grommet holes. So think about a little hole in the ground where this rodent comes out, right? Like this. That's where the nerves come out. So it's very, very superficial. These sit right along the skin, okay? These guys are what they call superficial nerve endings. Superficial nerve endings have a hot straight line into your brain. That's why if I lightly touch your skin, there's a lot of stimulation to it. And your brain says, dude, that feels kind of nice. Can you do a little bit more? And do it a little lower. Okay? That's not in this neck technique, by the way. Because I guarantee you, if I go lower, your neck will feel better. That's called the distraction technique, or otherwise known as the pervert technique. But that's something that's really important for you guys to know in the world of trying to manage people in pain, and why when you go in and you try to crush areas with foam rollers and lacrosse balls, that does have a benefit, okay? But if someone is not improving from that, I want you to step back, because the body's trying to tell you something. Dude, you ain't doing the right thing. Okay? Otherwise, it would be better. So what you do is you go to the opposite end of the spectrum, where you do something and you're saying to yourself, Doc, are you kidding me? This feels like I'm doing absolutely nothing. This is ridiculous. Now you're catching on. Right? Because if y'all Chivos talk, pain is an opinion. Pain is perception. Pain is threat. So the beautiful part of my technique, if you've seen me doing any of my lectures, right? I slap people around because I just like doing that, okay? And they can't hit me back, which is even better. The reason I do that is because I'm stimulating the superficial nerve endings here. And I'm going to show you another technique where it doesn't involve slapping, but it involves very light rubbing. Very light, and then it goes faster. And then I mix that with hitting. Because what we're doing with that one is this. When we go really, really light, we're stimulating superficial nerve endings. That's where we say, hey, nervous system, I ain't going to hurt you. I'm a nice guy. So the nervous system doesn't run away and say, ew, right? Opens it up for learning. Okay? Then we go faster and we go deeper. What's a deeper? Deeper. Shouldn't have been drinking that beer at lunch, right? And what we're doing there is we're stimulating different nerve fibers. Now, some people call it Pacini nerve endings. Some people call it Pacini nerve endings. I don't care what you call it. Just have an "ini" on the end of it. It's P-A-C-C-I-N-I. Okay? That's the ones where it's excitatory. It's excitatory. So it's going to wake up the nervous system. Boom, boom, boom. I'm listening. Then we go actually slow and deep. Slow and deep. That is where we're relaxing the system, right? That's parasympathetic. That's wine and dine. That's called Ruffini. So then we're stimulating Ruffini nerve endings that way, all right? So we're going to mix these two together, or all these together, when we do this technique where I'm going to show you how you unlock the neck on very specific points. We're going to go feather light. Then we're going to go faster and deeper. Then I'm going to get a little bit of my favorite, my hit action. Okay, that's also Pacini. And then we're going to go slow and deep. That's relaxation. That primes the nervous system up for hardcore performance. It's very important that you do it in that order. Because if I dive deep and crush the shit out of you, I'm sending you into a threat response. But when I go deep with a foam roller, what I'm bypassing is this. I'm bypassing that. I'm crushing them. These send more information to your brain than any other fibers. So a huge thing that you're going to be able to help your clients with is the areas where they have pain. I want you to be really, really super nice and feather light. That is probably one of the biggest tips I'm going to give you this entire weekend, is to go super, super light. I mean, like, take a feather or take cotton balls and go really, really light. And in the beginning, they're going to say, you're absolutely ridiculous. What the hell are you doing? And you say, just sit back, just wait. And then the brain's going to say, this is good. This I like. Then the pain goes down. Then they come back and say, holy hell, man, you were right. It worked. I know I'm right, okay? That's just basic neurology. So that's one place that we're going to stimulate, and that's at C7T1. So right here where we have the big hump, right? Or what they call the dowager's hump. And that happens, why do you think that starts to happen? Why they get so big? How do most people walk around? Is it like this? Dude, I'm like a badass, man. No, they're like this. Oh, life sucks. Holy shit. All right, I got to go work out again. So the head is far over the shoulders. So you stay with me, and I want you to feel what this is like if you do it. Stick your head out like a chicken, right? When you stick it out like a chicken, where do you feel excess tension? Well, we think it's probably going to hurt, yeah? Or it gets really, really tight, but it also might get very weak. So what about in the front? If this sits out here and these get on stretch, do you think these guys are going to be strong or weak? They're going to be really, really weak. And now I want you to try to do some range of motion, okay? So here's what I want you to do. Why don't you guys all just stand up for a second, because it's standing up. Let's see what the neck influences, okay? So what I want you to do is throw your neck forward like a chicken. Then what I want you to do is take your shoulder and raise it up. See how far it goes. All right? Then like a chicken, raise the other one up. Probably feels like shit, right? And then pull your neck back, pack your neck back, stand tall like you actually love yourself and you want to take on the world, and then bring it up. Kabam, right? Now let's think about rotation, because rotation is where you generate power, right? If I want to knock somebody out, I'm not going to do this, right? Or otherwise you will get knocked out. I want to do this, woo, right? The only time I'm going to knock somebody out that way, man, if I do it like this, then that's the hip flexor talk that came before, right? So throw your neck out, feet together so they touch, okay? And now I want you to rotate. This is an awesome Instagram shot, by the way, okay? Somebody hashtag that shit and put it up and get the best hashtag, I'll send you a shirt, okay? Here you go, and then do the other one. All right? Doesn't feel so good, does it? Now, that's an exaggeration, but when somebody lives out here and they walk, that's what walking is. Walking is rotation. You're not going to rotate. You can't generate power, right? So now, pull your neck back like you love yourself, right? Boom. Like when you stand back this way, that's showing respect for yourself. So now rotate. Is that easier? Yes or yes? It should be. If it's not, man, we really got to bring you up here as a demo, because I'm going to find some freaky shit on you for sure, okay? And we go the other way. So most people will live out here. Very rarely do they live here. So we're going to show you how you'll check with each other. Now, you can sit down, or you can stand, or do whatever. Now, when we do the stuff today, I mean, if you don't want to work with anybody, that's fine. You could just be a watcher. You don't have to be a doer. But if you want to, you'll be working in groups, and usually I encourage you to work in groups of at least 2, because you can't do this to yourself, at least not very easily, okay? And it's never as much fun when you do it to yourself. Nothing ever is. I'll let you catch that one, right? Then you can work in groups of 3 if you want. So I'm going to show you what I look for in relationship to the neck, and then I'm going to show you the places that I'm going to look to release. That's number 1. C7T1 is where we're going to stimulate. Then we're going to stimulate here, right? That's the back of your head, here. Now, if you see the 2 red circles with the little starburst around them, that's right in the center of your skull, dropping down a little bit, right? And that's where your trap is going to be coming to attach. And that's really tense, right? When your upper trap like this, and I'm breathing from my neck as well. These nerves right here. So these nerves here, these are called your suboccipital nerves. These 2, that's the sweet spot right there. If those nerves get irritated, that will cause a shit show in your whole body. Because this is very important for you to understand, all inflammation in the body, I don't care if you got inflammation in your big toe, or you have inflammation in your gut, or anywhere. All inflammation that stays in the body, that's definitely chronic, it always starts in the first joint away from the brain. The first joint away from the brain, which is where this sits. That's called your occiput, and C1, which is your atlas. So I want you to do the technique on the back of the head when somebody hurts anywhere. And you remember, if you've been showing, I've been showing these places to slap and stuff like that. You guys remember the one in the morning, for those that were here, the guy who had the weak booty? Yeah, the weak glute. Where did I rub on him? You remember? I rubbed a lot of people. Remember where it was on him? The jaw. The jaw is an activation point for your glute. Write this one down. The second activation point for your glute is right there. Right there. So if you rub there, you will get better activation in your ass. Now you're like, Doc, how the hell is that possible? Well, first of all, think about it. If you've got somebody down on the ground, you ever see anybody do these where they're doing the kickback and then they do this with their neck? Right? Like this. If I extend my neck, I tighten the chain up to my glute this way. So most people, their ass is actually their neck. They use their neck to generate the force. So when I put my neck out here, that does the work of my glutes this way, okay? So when I show you how to unpack the neck, I'm going to help this move better. And you're going to say, is it crazy that when you did that to my neck, the hell is that? Oh, when you did that to my neck, right? Is that a microphone in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me, right? Actually, it's a microphone. Did it get help my hip? What do you think I'm going to tell them? Hell's bells, yes it can. Because we know the whole body is connected, right? Your brain doesn't know its head from its ass. It thinks it's all connected. So that's spot number 2. Spot number 3, it's a little bit not focused, but remember the nerves in your neck, they go lots of other places. So they go down into these gatherings. I call these tribal gatherings. That's my term for them. A tribal gathering, a big one for you, is right below your collarbone, right going in down towards your arm, and there's a muscle that sits right across this guy right here that it sucks on almost every human being. Anybody know what it is? The pec minor. Pain in the ass, right? So it sits here. So when your head goes forward, your shoulder rounds forward, the pec minor gets tight, and you see those nerves? They don't get happy. And what else sits there is the blood supply to the nerve. And what else sits there is my favorite system in the body, your lymph system. So if your neck hurts, you're going to have to release and go in here. All right? But if your shoulder hurts, you're going to have to go to your neck. So you flip it. You follow? You have to do both. So that's the third spot that we're going to go to. The fourth spot, this is one of my favorite ones. That's a picture from the front. Those are grommet holes. So you have grommet holes that sit right here on the front of your trap. And whoever comes up and I'm going to demonstrate these on, I'm going to show you where these are. And that's like if I took my fingers and I pinched that trap right here. And that's where a nerve sits that sucks when you press on it. I'm scaring anybody off that's going to come up. Right? Sits right there. And that's a huge cause of arm pain. Huge cause of arm pain. Right there. And then look below the collarbone. Look how many sit below there. You got at least 4 to 6 grommet holes that come out. So if I want to make an effect on the neck, I have to go below the collarbone. And you're going to go on the SC joint, the sternoclavicular joint. The sternoclavicular joint is one of the most powerful acupressure points in your body. Powerful as hell. It's called K27. K27. When you rub that spot, you're going to see some crazy shit happen. When you rub this and you rub here, those are the 2 primary reflex points that will activate, neurologically upregulate, and give you instantaneous strength into these muscles in the front here. So you will lock and load immediate strength in your neck flexors. And when you do that, you relax tension in the front of the body. I relax tension in the back of my body. My posture comes back. I get more blood flow to my brain, and then I get less brain fog, less fatigue, less tiredness. So I'm going to help you treat your neck, but I'm going to help your brain as well. The number one thing that takes out an athlete is mental fatigue. And you get mental fatigue because you have brain inflammation and poor blood flow. If I increase blood flow and reduce inflammation by increasing lymphatic drainage from your neck, well, then you think better, you move better, you go longer. That means I get gold and you get silver. I win. Okay? Or I get to run more, and that's what I like to do because it's the only thing that makes me happy because the rest of my life sucks. Can I just have the open road, please? Because you know if you tell a runner to stop running, they're going to stop running, right? No. Okay? So we're going to go there. And then the last one. My favorite place. Well, second favorite. I'm going to go along this now. Did you see what I did in the morning and slapping him here? If you weren't here, and maybe you weren't, you just had a rough night and you were having coffee this morning, you missed my show. But if you were here, remember when we slapped his serratus anterior? Well, that's what I was slapping. See all those grommet holes? Those are superficial nerve endings. When I slap that, your brain goes, holy hell, that's some crack, and I want more of it. Whew. And what it does is it brings your brain attention to the movement. It brings attention to the movement. And that's how you change a habit. Because you can't change something you don't know about, right? But now we're going to go into the sternum. The sternum is huge. The sternum, these little grommet holes come out between the ribs as they attach to your sternum. Here. Now, you stay with me. If you want to rotate and turn, everybody thinks of thoracic spine rotation, but do these guys have to open up? And I've said in other lectures, nerves hate to be stretched, especially if they have irritation on them. So I'm going to contend you can't rotate in your thoracic spine because you've got irritation in the grommet holes coming from your sternum, and then that feeds forward into the connective tissue of your neck, down your sternum to your abdomen here in your front fascial line, a.k.a. Thomas Myers, anterior fascial line, all the way down to your foot. So the way I'm going to help your neck is to release your sternum. Write this one down. Here comes another one your way. The number one overlooked cause, in my experience, of chronic lumbopelvic hip pain, that means here, is irritation to the nerves in your sternum and a lack of motion in the anterior part of your rib cage. Now, why does that make sense? Open, stretch, throw, decelerate, open, and throw. This way. So what happens is, if this guy doesn't want to move, guess what moves more? This dude. Okay? Then you get, holy shit, I've had like a sports hernia, or I have like pain in my groin for like 8 months. Anybody ever looked at your rib cage? No. What have they been treating? My groin? Shame on them. All right. Okay, you ready to see it? All right, so what I want is a volunteer of anybody who wants to be tested. You want to do it? Come on up. Now I know why you were sitting in the front. No, you're good. Yeah, at least for now. At least when we test the neck. Okay, now, posture tells you a lot, guys, okay? So let's just have her stand, right? And I usually put feet together so they touch. The reason I put feet together so they touch is, one, every single person I do this to, they start in the same place. And plus, this is more stable or less stable than this? Less. So what I want to do is I want to put some freak on into the brain, and the brain goes, holy shit, I don't like it this way. And then you have less of an ability to compensate and say, aha, I'm putting my right foot 1 inch further forward and Dr. Perry doesn't see it. Yes, I do, but I'm going to put it this way, so then we see other things begin to move. All right? You want to stand up on the stage? You cool with that? Here's your moment. Okay? Feet together so they touch. Oh, nice. All right? And just look straight ahead. And all you're going to do is just look at her head position, right? So you're going to look for 1, if it's tilted to the left, if it's tilted to the right, if it's far forward or far back, right? Or if it's got a little bit of rotation to it left or a rotation to it right. Or is the right trap bigger than the left trap? Is the right SCM bigger than the left SCM? What if one muscle is bigger than the other? What is that telling you? Well, I probably like using that muscle more, i.e. that's why it's bigger. Okay? But your brain wants to adjust for the horizon with its eyes because walking like this is no good. So what we do is I look at it first to see where she is, and then I'm going to have you close the eyes, and all I want you to do is just turn your head left and right, and then when I ask you to, you're going to stop and look straight, but don't open your eyes, okay? And then you look and see if there's any difference. Is there any difference with the eyes closed? Or does it look pretty much the same? Okay? So she's got a little bit of rotation to the left. Do you see it? Now, the reason I do that is this, because if I'm looking straight ahead, I'm going to self-correct for this and be, I'm going to put myself straight. But when I close my eyes and I go like this, I don't know where straight is because the eyes can't adjust. So somebody might be like this. Then when I do this, they're going to be like, I'm looking straight, right? No, you're not looking straight. Okay? So now we're going to do an isometric test. Are you cool with that? Do you have neck pain now or no? You do? Okay. Oh, you do. You have it on the right side. Okay. Well, we're going to do the test anyway. Okay. So listen, if somebody has neck pain, you don't have to do the test I'm going to show you. You go right to what the reset is. You follow? Or if you can't touch them, then you show them how to do it to themselves, and then they do it. But I'm going to show you how you test the neck, right? And then we're going to break out, and then I'll let you test the necks on yourself. Because posture, that shit's easy. But when you do the neck, one, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. But if you want to do it, you don't go hard because it's the freaking neck, okay? You don't have to go really hard, but you do isometrics first. I'm going to go on the stage here with her lying down. You guys be okay with seeing that? You good? Okay, why don't you lie on your back, head up this way, and then feet there. All right. So, now what we do first is an isometric hold. And what I do is I get them into a flexion pattern where I'm going to ask them to lift their head up off the table, but they do it not fast. They do it at a count of 4. They go up for 1, 2, 3, 4. Not yet. I want it up so that they're at the top at 4. That's concentric of the neck. Then at the top, I want them to hold it for at least 4 seconds. And breathe. That's important. Then what I'm looking for is 1, when they come up, is it smooth? Is it a struggle? Do they kind of ratchet up like this? Or if they have pain, stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You guys know what that game is? I'm not that old, am I? Anybody know what it is? Monopoly. Thank you very much. Okay? Then hold at the top for 4. And then they're going to lower. They're going to decelerate for 4. Because a muscle can work well in concentric and not in eccentric. Most of the time it's the eccentric phase that it's really bad at. I'm going to see what they can do on their own. Then I'm going to come on in and test it, which means I'm going to be outside force to press against the neck, and they should be able to still hold the head up against my light pressure. So basically, I'm going to be the universe Perry, coming to kick the ass of this neck. And this neck better push back and be strong and not be painful. Anything else but strength is not good. Got it? You ready? Okay, so go up for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, you see what she did? Down. So 1, it might be that she doesn't know what I want her to do. 2, she lifted and she threw her chin out. You see it? See the chin come forward? What I want is neck flexion. Nope, relax. I want you to just do this. Come in, relax the head. You're going to come like this. That way. You see it? Now, if she comes forward like that, I'm not saying it's wrong. What I'm saying is it's interesting. She knows her body pretty well, though, that I want her to curl it forward like this. I want this, and what she did, if I'm seated, is this. Did you notice that? Okay? It might not mean anything. It was just interesting to note, so I'm already fascinated. So now I'm really into this. Okay? So just bring your head up into flexion. 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. When she comes up, hold it for 4. And I'm looking for any shaking, which she's starting to do. And then I want you to go down for 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Did you have any pain? No. Okay, good. Now you can't see it from where you are, but when she comes forward this way, her head actually shifts to the left a little bit. She comes up and to the left. Up and to the left, which means the left side probably does more. So that's a basic one you do with your client. Can you hold your head off the freaking ground? It's 10 pounds. Normally I'll shoot for 10 seconds. But I like 4 up, 4 hold, 4 down. Are you with me? All right? Then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to test it. So here, she comes up, and then I'm going to put my hand behind her head so if she can't control it, it doesn't pop on the floor. And then I'm going to have her press into my hand as my hand presses the head back down. It's basically like I'm trying to almost test the strength of your bicep. I'm trying to do this, but to your neck. All right? You ready? Mm-hmm. You can come on up for 4. All right, I'm going to put my hand underneath here. You press into my hand. 1, 2, 3. All right? So see what she's doing? So that should lock completely and hold. Hold it up there. Relax it. I got it. Okay. Hold it up again. Okay. And press into my hand. That'd be a no. That's a fail, okay? So the first time it was like, dude, I got a little bit of a chance. Second time it's like, I'm checking out, man. Margarita on the beach time, I'm done. Got it? Is that me? Right? Probably because it's in my ass? No? Okay. All right, so that's not good. Now we're going to look at flexion and rotation, okay? So if you rotate your head to your right, this big muscle pops out on your left. What is it? Your sternocleidomastoid. So this is going to be a sternocleidomastoid assessment, okay? Here's how it works. Head up off the table for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rotate to the right for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. I'm looking at this muscle to see if she can hold it up, all right? And then she keeps it there and lowers it down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to the center. Now I'm going to compare it to the other side. You follow? So what I'm looking for that one is 1, when she comes up and she turns it, can she turn all the way? Does she feel comfortable holding it there? How did that look to you? You're going to judge it by how she looks going the other way, okay? So come on up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go to your left. And then hold. Do you see a difference? And then down for 4. You see a difference? You can't see it from where you are, probably not, but when she turned to the left, the way she held her head up there was lifting this shoulder off the ground. Okay? So if you have your head up and you can't turn your head, you'll do this to hold your head up. You see? I'll go this way, and your brain says, dude, your neck sucks, you can't do that. And then it says, okay, pec minor, you're up. And the pec goes, sir, yes, sir. And then this guy gets what? Pissed. And then you dig into where? And then what keeps coming back? Me. So where you got to go? Here. Okay? Now I'm going to test these. Ready? Okay. I'm going to move a little bit. You're going to come up and turn your head to the right. I'm going to put my hand underneath. Okay? And then she presses into my hand. That's pretty good. Okay? Not bad. Right? Then we're going to do the other side. Okay? Which side hurts on you? This is going to be fun. Okay? Lift up. Turn the other way. Now she's not doing it with her shoulder because she knows I'm looking. Okay? Press up. No. Interesting. Right side hurts, right side weak. Right? That tells you something. Something's up. What hurts on you? Your trap? Here?
It's mostly it's this part.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's her trap hurts on the right because she doesn't own the SCM on the right. You understand? Hold your head. I got it. Okay. So this SCM is very weak. So then your brain says, guess what? Other muscles on the right, you're up. And they go, sir, yes, sir. But what's happening is they're like, dude, enough of this helping out shit. This sucks. And then they start to get pain. And pain is a request for change. Pain is telling you, dude, stop rubbing me out and go make that guy actually do something. Imagine that. But you're going to be like, dude, how the hell am I going to know this relationship? I'm going to make it easy for you. If you don't even want to test the neck, do the stuff I'm going to show you and it works anyway. See how simple that is? Right? Because if you're not functional, it'll help you. If you are functional, it'll make you a monster. You good? Okay. Now that's just one assessment for the neck and flexion and rotation. Okay? Anybody tell me what time my lecture ends and what time it is now? How much time do I have? Do I have 30 minutes at least? 20? 20 minutes? Holy shit. Okay, that's not a lot of time. Okay.
There's tension here too.
Yeah, you're really tender in there. Okay, all right. So you can sit it up. So I doubt you're going to have time to test the neck. So what I want to do is I'm going to use you as a demo to show all this stuff, all right? So I'm going to do the corrections on you if you're cool with it, all right? Do you have something on underneath there? I'm sorry, guys. I mean, it's amazing how fast time goes when you teach what you love. Time just like, it's like freaking Matrix jumps or something. Like, where the hell did it go? All right. So let's go back to the things and show you. First place I'm going to work is going to be right there at C7, T1. Okay? So let's have you maybe, can you like face that way? All right. Can you scoot back just a little bit more? Okay. All right. So here is C7, T1 right here, right there. Okay? Now, to work that region, one, I can get in there and I can work that region pretty hard and do it, but I'm going to show you the way that we release it very easy. Right, here's how we do it. It's okay if I treat it? I'm going to go at C7, T1. I'm having a little bit of flexion to what's comfortable to here. And then I'm going to go across it like this. I'm like, hey, Mr. Nervous System, it's Perry, and I'm your buddy. Hey? It's kind of creepy, right? I'm your buddy. Feather light. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go faster and deeper. Faster and deeper gets to Pacinian corpuscles. I'm going to slap you now, okay? Then I hit that region to go over those, right where they come out of the grommet holes. All right? That's also Pacinian. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the neck a little bit. I'm going to go slow and deep. Slow and deep. Just over the grommet holes, over the nerve. See? So it's not really painful, right? That's the point. Okay? So that's number one. Okay? Number two. Can you look straight? Number two would be right here at the back of the head. So the trap comes up here. The two nerves go this way. Right there. So you show your client how to do this. Right? And if they're to a point where, dude, I'm not rubbing anything, then you just say this. Okay, slap right here for 10 seconds. Done. Okay? I made it stupid proof. I mean, anybody can do it. I'm going to hold the front of your head. Okay? So I'm just going to check the nerves here. It's really tough to see from here, but it's right below where the skull is attached to the soft tissue, up underneath. I'm going to push here. And usually it'll feel like swollen. It'll almost feel like a tendon. That means it's a nerve that's actually inflamed. She's more inflamed on the right. When you feel that one? Yeah, so right here, the nerve feels like a tendon. That means the sheath around the nerve is swollen, okay? Now, in my office, I work it a little bit harder here, but you would end up doing the same thing. And this one, I'm going to have you do it to yourself. This is how you do it to yourself, okay? You take your hand, and you go to the back, and you start rubbing here along that, right? Feather light. Feather light. Then I want you to go faster and deeper. Faster and deeper. And then I want you to be, or at least it was my mother, slap yourself in the back of the head. What are you thinking, huh? Hit yourself here, but don't give yourself a concussion, please. And then I want you to go slow and deep. Slow and deep. And you're like, which way? I don't know, pick one. Why don't you go up and down along the nerve? Here, like this. So it's like I'm doing this, okay? It's like I'm doing this. Here and across, right? You can't go wrong. Don't you already feel like you got a buzz in your brain? Probably because you just slapped your brain around, right? It's like, wake up. That's number 2. Now, number 3 I don't always do, but I'm going to show it to you. You can turn around and face down. It's okay if I check your pec, right? So one of my assessments is the plexus, if you see that, runs right along here. Here's your pec minor, okay? And I'm kind of a jerk. I'm going to press hard because it should not be tender. If I press along the plexus and I move the nerve, I'm going to see if it's tender. She's got a high pain tolerance, so you need to let me know if it hurts or if you're okay. No pain? Good. That's what I want to see. If I go in here and I press and it's painful, that means the pec is painful, but that means that shit underneath is inflamed. So we do the same thing, right? We would do the same thing. Feather light, faster, deeper, hit, slow and deep. Or you can get in there and work your ball, but I don't like that because it crushes the tribal gathering. Then I'm going to check the other side. This one. You good? A little bit on this one? Yeah. Okay. That's lesson number 2. Just because the right side of the neck hurts doesn't mean you're going to find the inflammation on the right side. You may find it on the left side because the nerve in the neck starts at the same place and branches to both sides. So you can have an irritation on the left side that's causing pain on the right side. Lesson number 1, where you think it is, it ain't. So then I would work this side. Feather light, faster, deeper, hit a little bit, slow and deep. Slow and deep. You guys got it? Then we do the next one. Then we're going to work around the SC joint and underneath the collarbone because these guys are the ones that branch out from higher up in the back to wrap around. We're going to go right around the trap here and underneath the collarbone. Because that's the place a lot of people miss. Because look, the grommet hole comes up here, but they also pass and they come up underneath another grommet hole. See? These come up and come down here. So I'll check up top first at this grommet hole. I'm going to squeeze there. And I see if it's tender. Tender there? Yeah. Okay. So there's one grommet hole. Then I'm going to be on the other grommet hole. And I'm right around the nerve. Not as bad? No. So there's the grommet hole. I can feel it, right? So then I would do the same thing here, all right? Feather light, faster, deeper, hit, slow and deep. Slow and deep actually moves the nerve along the sheath coming out of the grommet hole. It's okay if I check under the collarbone? Then I'm going to go underneath the collarbone and I press and I feel underneath the grommet holes. A little bit right here, okay? Then I'm going to check the other one. One side feel worse than the other? Or about the same? The right side, okay? So I'm going to work the right. Same thing, right? Then I'm going to go feather light, faster, deeper. It's okay if I hit. Tap. And then I'm going to go slow and deep across the nerve because I'm going over the hole like this, moving the hole. Open up the nerve, slow and deep. okay? And then for S and G's, shits and giggles, you do the other side because it's nice to balance it out, right? But for time's sake, now I'm going to need your permission to check your sternum. You could probably sit for now so they can see it. Then I'm going to go there. Okay? So there's the SC joint right here. So what I want you to do is always rub over the SC joint. Just lightly rub over the SC joint. Do the same thing. Then hit over the SC joint. That right there can really help shoulder injuries because most people go after the clavicle at this end. They don't go after that end. This is the most important end of the clavicle. Here. You follow? Then I'm going to check on the sternum with her permission. I move down the sternum, and the sternum should not have any tenderness or puffiness to it. There's like a little bit here, so there's some tenderness there. But then I go in between the ribs. So if I drop down, see this first space below the collarbone? That's the first space where the nerve comes out. So it's right in that groove. So I'm going to press here, then I'm going to move down to the next one. Then I'm going to move down to the next one, down to the next one, and of course she would keep going, okay? Then I'm going to move over here. This one, here, there's a little bit there. Okay. Then I move down to the next one. Oof, that's a good one. No pain?
Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't crack, man. She's a tough, she's tough. All right? I know she's tough. She came to my workshop the other day. I'm like, damn, you're badass. Right? So you work in between those. Then what you do is this. Okay, this one you can do to yourself. All right? You guys can also do it. So along your sternum and here, okay, here's what you do. Right? Feather light. Right? Start at the SC joint, K27. Then work your way down. Okay? Fun, do this to yourself, right? Okay? Then you go faster and deeper. Rubbing your melon. Okay? It's got a shiny brain back there. Then what you're going to do is hit. Hit the SC joint. Work your way down. Then the grommet holes are there, so go along the grommet holes. Slow and deep out. Slow and deep out. Okay? Slow and deep out. Open those up. Open up the rib cage. And what you'll notice when you do that is, one, you'll rotate further. You'll breathe better because this is a reflex point for your diaphragm. If diaphragm breathing is off, this sucks. This point also relates to dysfunction in your stomach. If you have an irritation in your stomach, a lot of stomach acid, acid reflux, things like that, this hurts like a mother. That's a reflex point for your stomach. Okay? So we do that, and then the last ones I'm going to show you here are one to help reset the SCM. Now you have an SCM on the right, you have an SCM on the left. They have to work together. One turns you, one decelerates, okay? One turns you, one decelerates. One can work, one can be off, like she had, or one can be off and the other one can be off. So what we're going to do is, remember in the morning I flicked his scapula like this? That's called a reflex reset, and it's about speed. So what happens is if I flick very quickly over the sternocleidomastoid muscle very fast, what happens is I neurologically rebalance the two between each other. Yin and yang now flow well together. And it's so simple to do. Okay? So it's if she turns her head, that's the SCM. See it? So what you're going to do is you're going to have two fingers I'm just showing you where it is. We'll have two fingers hooked behind the SCM here. Two fingers behind the SCM on one side and two fingers along the other side. It's usually easier than three because two fingers move faster than three. So if you're not sure where it is, turn your head and find it. Put your fingers behind it. Turn your head and find it. Put your fingers behind it. Okay? Then all you're going to do is this. So put your fingers behind your SCM. Yep. Then it's this. So watch me first. It's going to be a flick, Like the two fingers go like this, flick, fast. It's about speed. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? We usually do it mid-belly. Sometimes it's more helpful to go high near the top, to flick there. So flick a couple near the top, right where it inserts on the cranium, right? It's harder to reach the bottom with your fingers, so sometimes I just use my thumb. I just go here like this, really quick. 2, 3. That's a really easy activation drill because you're going over the Golgi tendon organs at the origin and insertion of the tendons, which turns that muscle on quick, fast, and in a hurry. That's a neurological reset. Then what we do is we go back and we look at the range of motion, we look at the strength of the neck, and hopefully it's better. Now, 2 things will happen. 1, it'll look better and be stronger, points scored. 2, it won't be. If it's not, first of all, it doesn't make you a bad person. Second, this doesn't work for everybody. If I told you that, run out of the room because I'm full of shit, right? Number 3, it might mean she has a deeper issue where she actually has something in the neck that's physically stuck and not moving, that I have to move first. But it'll be very interesting to see. So let's review what we did, right? So we did, I'll check it in a minute because I want this to reset. We looked at the neck. We had range of motion. She lifted it up and held it 4, 4, 4. Up and turn, 4 seconds up, 4 second hold, 4 seconds down, 4 second up, 4 second hold, 4 second down. Then I pressed down, and then what I went through is I went through and did C7, T1, back of the skull, occiput. I checked over the brachial plexus. If it was tender and she pulled back, I do the same reset. The most important one here is underneath the collarbone and the SC joint. And then I went along the sternum, my favorite one that'll freak you out. You'll get better hip range of motion too. And then I did the SCM flip. I went over the SCMs this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Then what we do is lie on your back and let's see what we get. Because then you got to check your work. So I love it when it works, but honestly, I also love when it doesn't work because that makes me like, dude, I'm going to figure this shit out if it kills me. That's just in my blood, okay? All righty. Okay. Head comes up and rotate it to what's the weak side, right? Rotate to your left. All right? Hold it there. No go for her, right? So for her, it didn't hold. So what that tells me is for her, I'm going to have to go deeper, right? But you've had this problem for how long?
A year,
2 years. Deeper issue, all right? But for you guys, when you do this one, really, really quick, because you're going to stay afterwards because I'm going to figure this shit out, all right? You can come on up. Okay? For the activation on the patients who haven't had that chronic neck pain for years and years and years, this due to all your athletes, due to anybody that you see, and if they're like, I don't have any pain, I want you to do this for them and then say, see how your deadlift improves. See how your clean and jerk improves. See how your run improves. Whatever they may have been struggling on and trying to break through a strength plateau, I want you to do this to try to reset it. And the easiest way to do that and to get buy-in is say, do what you normally do, and then let me do this crazy shit this guy showed me at this seminar, and let's see if it makes a difference. What's that? Just do it that one time, because if it's going to nail it, it'll hold, and he'll do the session. I'm like, I'm locked. I'm loaded. And just like Chivo said, the more you begin to do that, the more you begin to stimulate your nervous system, then the more it'll eventually become a habit, and then what will happen is the nervous system will remember. Remember I said in the morning there's 2 systems that have a memory. Your nervous system and your immune system. Your nervous system just forgot how to sequence this, but it has a memory. So the more you re-influence it, the memory comes back really fast. And boom, it'll lock. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, did I finish on time? Damn, that's a freaking miracle, actually. All right? So, first of all, thank you very much, everybody, for watching.